Good evening, William. How are you this afternoon?
Just about morning still with me. I know it's late for you.
Oh, that's right. Of course, yeah. It's evening for me and morning for you, yeah. Duh.
Yeah. Are we going to
Yeah,
finally do this one or what?
of course. I mean, this isn't outside, by the way. This is new technology. Woohoo! This
Is
is
it?
this is green screen. Not
Ah,
bad, eh?
I was wondering when you moved.
You'll have to pardon me. I've got a bit of a barley sugar in my mouth just to stop me from getting a dry throat because we're heading into winter over here.
I told you not to
Uh,
put it in just now. I told you, not to do that. You'll be interrupting people. I told you not to do it.
but first of all, I think a lot of people have enjoyed video 1 and 2, um, but what they might not know is how difficult it's actually been to get video 1 and 2 out there. I mean, neither of us are technically savvy as such. Um, we're obviously savvy enough to catch up on Zoom and Skype, even though it takes us half an hour or more just to log in. But
we did have some. I mean, the issues that we've had are unbelievable.
yeah, I know.
Wow.
But
Wow.
whether we've had all sorts of issues, whether it be technical or whatever,
Mm.
family things cropping up here and there. But at the end of the day, we got there, and
At the end of many days, you mean? The issues that we've been through. Wow, it's unbelievable. I mean,
yeah,
the amount of things that cropped up, people just wouldn't believe.
true. I just got a signal then from my Zoom, and it just said about low audio. So can you just say or confirm if the audio's good?
Yeah, you sound okay.
Okay, well that's all that matters then. Good.
What do you mean? What about me?
You're
My sound
fine.
is okay.
You're
Okay,
fine.
yeah.
Yep. And this is it, folks. This is how it gets, when we're trying to set this up. This is what we're going through. But anyway,
People wouldn't
here
understand
we
what we've
are.
been through. They would not really have a clue what we've been through. We've gone 2 or 3, 2 to 3 weeks setting this meeting, trying to get this going. Hours
Correct.
upon hours upon hours.
Correct.
So
Now here's the thing. When I was setting up the first one, I remember mentioning to you that I'd like to have an intro and an ending. The ending is just thank you for watching. But the introduction is probably a little bit more sophisticated, and and that in itself took some time to put together. And I don't think people understand how much goes into that to try and get all the elements together. But like I said to William privately, I was looking for a picture or something that would enhance the talks that we're going to have. And when I saw the picture of the hands like this, I just immediately, when I saw those hands, I thought they look like William's hands. And because when sometimes he puts his hands up like that on the screen, and I thought, wow, that has to be the picture. But why that picture and no other picture? Because my intuition kicked in, or my sixth sense, or whatever it is, spirit guide guided me. Who knows what that is? But whatever it was, I instantly recognized that that picture was supposed to be part of this conversation. And when I was putting the elements to it, I was just going through all the different elements, seeing what would fit. And I thought, oh, that effect would look good on this hand, and this effect would look good on that hand. But then I had to put it all together and put it in sync. Now, that wasn't easy, believe me. But by the time I got it all together for 40 seconds, I sent it to William, and well, I'll let you tell the story, William. What did you actually say to me when you saw it for the first time?
I was very, very impressed. I was very surprised that you had actually gotten it spot on. I said, I wonder, does he realize what he's just after getting, what he's after doing? Because when I saw that and I saw the hands, I'm going, oh, they're my hands. Now, I didn't know that you were thinking the same thing. When I saw the hands, I said, oh, they look like my hands.
Yeah.
But what really clicked with me was that what the hands were doing, they were sending out energy. And if they noticed and they thought it was the actual world was there, the planet was there. But what I hadn't told you was that I do not a meditation, but a practice. I go through a modality, if you want, where I assume a certain position in the mornings, where I become a star. Okay, I take on the shape of a star. I become a star, and like the sun, I become like that. And I bring down the energy from above. I bring it down with my hands in the center of the sun. And when I have my hands up, I can feel that energy oscillating between my hands. I can feel it vibrating between my two hands. And I bring it down into myself, down into the planet, and down through my legs, back up again. Okay? Then, when that energy is settled, I form a ball, a golden ball of energy in my two hands. Now, I am a star at this stage, right? I'm not human. I become a star. So I have this ball of energy in my hands, and I send that out into the planet. And I can see it going out into the planet, around the planet, and into the planet. And I do say a certain mantra when I do that. Okay? There are certain words that I say, and I can feel the energy coming back at me. It is extremely powerful. So I send that out into the planet. And that's what I visualize. And that's what you got. And that's what you put up.
So is that extrasensory perception on my part picking up on what you were trying to convey without you telling me?
Unless upstairs has something to do with it. Head office might have had something to do with it, but I'm still amazed every time I say it. I say, that's spot on. But I do say the word, there are certain words I do say to confirm everything, but it does affect the planet big time. Big time.
And it wasn't just that, because obviously I had to put conversations, our names, the hands, and the energy coming out from it. But I was still looking for something else to give it that extra pizzazz, so to speak, because it wasn't quite what I was after. And then I noticed that on the sidebar there was another effect where it was the globe. And I thought, well, we want to reach the globe with this message. So when I saw this, not only did the globe spin around, if you look very carefully, you can see that white energy that the hands are pushing out with the energy, but you can also see the blue light coming out all over the place. And it just, to me, it seemed to top it off. And it was like, wow, how the hell did I put this together? I mean,
you're full of surprises, Mr. Kelly.
Well, I do have 3 video editors, and they all do different functions. And believe me, I was going racking my head trying to get something to work. And when I did, I actually designed it in one video editor and then finished it off in another one. So I had to combine two video editors to actually get that. But was there divine help? Was it coincidence? The whole thing? That's for the that's for the viewer.
The angel effect. I know where that came from, but if you see
Yeah,
that in the full with the angel, and I kind of asked you to do that part of it.
yeah,
People say, ha ha ha, very funny, that guy's wearing a pot on his head. But if they wouldn't been so funny and really looked, they'd notice that
yeah,
was a baseball cap turned backwards. And if they had
yeah,
looked even more closely, they would see that he was wearing a watch.
yeah.
And if they looked closer again, they would see that he's wearing boots and jeans. He's a modern dude. Fancy word.
There you go.
So all was different was that was the wings. But
Yeah,
people will laugh, he's just stupid. He's wearing a pot on his head. It's not a pot.
yeah,
It's a baseball cap turned backwards.
yeah.
So, but where that came from originally was with this famous letter, right? The O with the tail.
Number 17.
Something like that. Yeah. So he just put that, just went up, was posted one day. There was
Correct.
there
Yeah,
was
I
nothing
saw
else
that.
on it. There was nothing else on it. And when I opened it up and I saw it, I just went, whoa. I just,
Yeah.
whoa. It affected me. It hit me right between the eyes, smack. And it really affected me that.
Mm.
That was a big boom. I got a big, big hit from that one. Big hit.
And
So
I'd
I've
also
always like that. Yeah.
like to put it all together too, because not only did we have these coincidences before we started these videos, um, we also had it whilst trying to put it all together. We've had a lot of trouble getting it all together,
Mm.
but at the end of the day, we're getting there, and we're reaching quite a few people now. And I'm sure that when people finally understand the message and stop focusing on the messenger or the
Uh-huh.
messengers, you and I, they will actually understand when they get intuition and um, coincidence, and the synchronicity of it all will fit their lives too.
Mm. Well, the message that I intend to give out today, I have been trying to get this message out for quite some time now.
Yes.
And hopefully today will be the day. So
Okay.
I want to get it out there. And when it's out, that's my mission complete.
Okay.
Okay. This is the reason that I'm one of the big reasons why I'm here.
Because you've always been a private person, you don't want to actually become the next you know video guru or whatever. No,
Not
neither of us do.
at my age, pal.
We're not in it for money. We don't have anything to sell or anything like that. Well, I mean, I probably do, but I'm not going to promote it on here.
You mean you
But
can't promote your book?
no, not on here. There are other avenues to do that, and I don't want to become like everybody else. I just want
Yeah.
to focus on your message and what it means to humanity, because
Mm.
the passion that I have for humanity is why I wrote both the books in the first place. So that's up to people to do their research like we have in the past. I mean, that's how you met me in the first place. We discussed that in video one.
Yeah.
I had no intentions of going out there doing a video
Me
with
less.
Alfred Weber, who had
Oh, hello.
thousands of people worldwide for a private chat, and it just ended up being, do you mind? And I thought, no, okay, but I didn't realise how many followers he had, and that's how you found me.
Mhm.
So,
So,
so what
yeah,
was what? Okay, carry on.
right, go on, go on. No, it's been taking a while. Strange thing about it, this is also video 3. No,
Correct.
it wasn't designed to be like that. That's just the way it worked out. Like the last time, but number 3 didn't go out the last time. So hopefully it'll get out today.
Yeah.
This is the message that
Oh, definitely.
humanity needs to hear. This is why I'm here. This is why I don't let this form fool you for a minute. Don't let this person, this body you're
This
looking
form.
at. This form, exactly, yes. This form you're looking at fool you for 1 second. This is not who I am. Not for 1 second.
So what you're trying to say is that I'm an intergalactic reporter talking to William O'Leary in Ireland, or am I?
Yeah. Who are you talking to?
Who am I talking? Who am I talking to, William?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, obviously people can see William
mm-hmm.
in the flesh, in the 3D, but is it William and his message, or is it someone else? Have you been listening to videos 1 and 2? Have you put it all together yet?
Yeah, well, if you're talking to me here, who are you speaking to right now, is it? Well, it's not William. And you're frozen again,
Ah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Well, if I did, I've now defrosted, so there you go.
Yeah, I know it's winter time out there and all that, yeah.
I got the jumper on. It's a bit cold up on this hill, watching the waves below.
You should have moved there. Yeah. So, yeah, it's not William who's speaking right now.
So, okay, so if it's not William that I'm talking to, are you channeling?
Absolutely not.
Because
I am not channeling.
Because I don't want to make fun of people that do, because but what I have noticed or observed in the past, usually they close their eyes and then they talk in a different voice altogether. So if I'm talking to William in the 3D, but it's not William talking back to me, and William's not closing his eyes and speaking in a different tongue or using different vocabulary,
That's a nice one.
then yeah,
Did you
I
have that for
swallowed that
breakfast?
I did.
Okay.
I found it in the bottom of the cornflakes packet. Oh dear. We can't keep a straight face, can we?
Not a chance. Absolutely not.
Not a chance.
So William is not here. I look like I have the persona of William. This is just a persona. William is no longer on this planet.
Hang on. Oh, why, Nelly? Okay, you just said William's no longer on the planet. Is that physically right now, or is that spiritually right now?
Soul-wise, he is no longer.
Soul-wise.
He's no longer on the planet.
So what you're saying is, does this sound like a walk-in?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
Not a walk-in.
Because that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Not a walk-in. I am, or I was, William's higher self.
Higher consciousness.
His higher self.
Is there a difference?
If you want to use consciousness, okay.
So there is a difference between higher self and higher consciousness?
Well, when you go to your higher consciousness, you're reaching up to your higher self.
Right.
But the higher self in this case is what I am, because he is no longer, he left here in September of 2019. In other words, he has ascended. He's gone. He's no longer here. What you're looking at is the persona or the personality of William. I was and his higher self. He was, in his own way, a very high energy being in his own right.
What, you mean to tell me he buggered off without saying goodbye?
I know
Oh,
that's going to
crafty.
sound extremely difficult
Yeah.
for people.
Yes,
I know
it is.
and I'm struggling with it.
Yeah. I can imagine you would be, because was it 4 years ago that you were in hospital and you had trouble
Yeah,
with the heart?
yeah, but that's
That wasn't it?
no, it had nothing to do
No,
with it. It was just time for
no. Okay.
William to leave, and I am his higher self. Yeah, and I am an angelic, which, by the way, I would happen to be glancing through the law of one 2 or 3 days ago, and
Yeah.
I happened to come across something that I hadn't noticed before. And I was looking at the part where the law talk about the harvest. I know that word gets in. A lot of people don't like that word.
Yeah.
But Yeshua, or Jesus himself, also referred to the harvest. He also said, the harvest is great, but the laborers are few. That is the meaning of it. There are very, very few laborers here, helpers. Okay?
Ah, helpers.
Yeah, help people. So let me read this passage, and I'll explain it to you, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
And they were speaking about what they call the harvest, or what we call the ascension. And he says, at the moment, there are 3 types of helpers, or what we call now helpers, guardians and guides, to help people to go through this ascension on the planet
Right.
now. Okay, there are 3 watchers, let's call them like that. Okay,
Yes.
and he says there are those of 3 levels watching over harvest. Okay.
Yeah.
The first level is planetary, and that which may be called angelic.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. This type of guardian, talking about the angelic, includes the mind, body, spirit complex. That's how they refer to a person, as a mind, body, spirit complex. That's how they don't say and a person, they say a mind, body, spirit complex.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Okay. Totality, a higher self of an entity. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the higher self of the entity, which was William.
Right.
So that describes it perfectly.
Okay. So obviously it's still going to be very difficult for people, but if you speak of the law of one, where they can't influence or how can I put this, interfere
Mm-hmm.
without consent.
Mm-hmm.
But if they are in the 3rd dimensional form, like
Mm-hmm.
the higher consciousness of William in William's body,
Mm-hmm.
then they can, because they're in the 3rd dimension, even though their consciousness is of much higher dimension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does that encapsulate what you're trying to get
Yeah.
to?
Yeah. I mean, if I showed up here, if I sat in front of you here in an angelic form, people would look at it and they go, wow, that really is. Wow.
Yeah.
He's there. Yeah. I have now influenced those people. I've changed their mindset. I've changed their thought pattern.
Yeah.
I have interfered with that
Yes.
thought pattern. And that's going against the first law, divine law, cosmic law, God's law, if you want. That's
Yeah.
called interference. So this is why at this form, I go through the veil and I have to act like that. I cannot turn up in a form, just like the way Yeshua did, or Jesus. He had to show up as an incarnation as well.
I was actually going to ask that. Have they learnt that maybe even he did that, but he was misunderstood, and maybe they've learnt not to be godlike in the minds of the population.
Yes. If he showed up like in his natural form, he would have totally blown everyone's mind. I mean,
Yeah, he would.
he would have interfered totally,
Yeah,
completely interfered. That's why he had to incarnate in a physical body as well.
yeah.
And that's, by the way, is why he won't come down and save us all. I've said this in the second video. But you're not going to come down. Jesus, come down and save us. Not. You're not. No. But what is going to happen, right, is the people would say, Jesus Christ. He was not christened or called, what they call christened, called Jesus Christ. He was called Yeshua or Jesus, the Christ. The Christ consciousness. That's where the Christ comes from. It was Yeshua, the Christ. He was never Yeshua Christ or Jesus Christ. He was never called that. The Christ part is a title that a person goes through a lot of initiations before that title is given to a person, given to a body.
Right.
Okay, but there are a few beings on the planet, have been on the planet, who've also gone through the same process. This Christ consciousness. He wasn't the only one. There had been a few others.
Well, my understanding that every single soul on this planet has had a Christ consciousness in them. It's just that they don't realize it and don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when you have that awakening of the soul that you actually can move forward and learn.
That's very, very important. And this is one of the messages that I'm giving right now. Okay.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
There are a lot in the law one, people like star seeds and gatekeepers and all of that. They don't mention these people. They lump everybody under the same umbrella and they call them wanderers. So I like to call them star seeds. I like to refer to everybody in the total as star seeds. Okay. But here's the thing, right? We don't want you star seeds anymore. No more star seeds. It's time for you to grow up. You're no longer seeds. We want the stars here now. No longer seeds. Become stars. And if you say, well, I'm just here, what do I do? I'm not doing anything. And I would normally reply, just be. Just be. But now I'm going to extend it. Just be here now.
Right.
That is your job, to be here now.
Now.
You have
live in the now.
In the now. You have absolutely no idea how you're affecting things by just being here. Okay?
Yeah.
You have no idea of how the effect that you're having on the planet. The planet is going into 4D. Normally, when this happens elsewhere, there is an easy transition for the planet to go from 3D into 4D. But because of what's happening here, and all the different thinking and all the maneuvering and all the disturbances and everything else, that's affecting the planet. It's affecting the consciousness of the planet.
Oh, big time. Absolutely big time.
And that is real. So even all the confused thinking of people is affecting the planet. And it's like, what it is actually doing is giving very, very bad labor pains to the planet. The planet is a being. It's an
Yes, it
entity.
is. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a woman having a very, very bad labor. It's the exact
Yeah.
same thing. Instead of it being smooth, it's difficult. It's very, very difficult. And that's being seen in all the volcanoes that are going off, all the earthquakes, all the disturbances that are going on, everything. That's
Yeah.
all affecting the planet. And that's how the planet itself is reacting with the volcanoes, because she's in turmoil. She's in labor pain.
Absolutely. Yeah. I
And
agree. Yeah.
it's the people who are on it are doing that. It's they're causing that. The
They don't
wanderers,
realize that they don't realize, but they're actually manifesting over and over and over again.
yeah, all the wrongful thinking is affect that is going into the planet. They say, sure, I'm only one person. No, especially the wanderers out in stars, as I will now call them the stars. I don't want star seeds anymore. No longer a seed. We don't want seeds. But
Yeah.
now stars. We want you to become stars. This is going back to the beginning where I was explaining that I become a star. Pulling things out. I want people to become stars, which is what you are. You're divine beings. You're very, very powerful divine beings. The other
Into
side,
the light.
yeah, the other side is well aware of that fact.
Yeah.
What you might call the evil side or the dark side or the negative side are very, very well aware of how powerful you really are. There, no, so
Yeah.
I'll move. So move. Do you have a question?
Not directly. I'm just letting you go for the time being, and then I'll probably jump in with a question or two.
Okay.
Because, but what I would like to say, if I've got an opportunity, is that I've noticed in more recent times we seem to be progressing for a little while, and then we seem to go one step forward, go two steps
Mm-hmm.
back,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because the dark side, the evil side, or whatever, do know how powerful we are,
Yes.
and the people don't realize how powerful they are,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they're remanifesting the bad stuff to keep churning over and over and over, and it just keeps repeat, rinse and wash continually. And you only have to see that. You only have to. You only have to see that on the news, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Where is everybody's attention these days?
Oh God. Ah, on the lockdowns and the COVID and the negativity and the you name it. And
The rate count, you name it. That's where
oh look,
everybody's attention. This is where all this mixed messaging is going
distractions.
to the is going into the air. It is affecting the air big time.
It is
People need to be
massively.
watched up, watched what they think. I don't. No more star seeds. It's no time for you to become stars. Raise the
Well,
consciousness.
I actually mentioned something in book two, actually, about humanity is like a belligerent teenager right now,
Mm-hmm.
rebelling, thinking it knows everything, but it doesn't. And
No.
it's unwilling to learn. It's not until it goes through all those labor pains and then realizes by the time they get to 30, oh shit, maybe I better settle down and stop thinking like this and start thinking differently. And then when they get to our age, they start realizing, oh my God. But by then it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
Humanity as a whole has to start not necessarily waking up, but like you say, they are a seed. They have to start growing
We don't want seeds.
spiritually.
You're not seeds anymore. We want you grown up. We want you fully fledged stars, is what you really are. Is what people
Yeah,
really are. And they want the
absolutely.
real and stop all this madly cuddling around that's going on. Getting this time, interfering with that time. Forget it. There's no more time. Listen, folks, we are in the end times here. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
here otherwise, okay? We are in the end times. So you need to get real. You can now count, I said this to you previously, Dermot, that you can now count the grain of sands left in the hourglass. I was having a chat the other day when I was out walking with my father, which is Source, and I was asking him, speaking to him about the law of one, and he says, "Well, look," and I was trying to, could he give me any information? Right? He says, "Look, I initiated the law of one, so I cannot." So he says, if I, in other words, he was speaking about if he actually would do something, he says that would be tantamount, his word, tantamount to me having my cake and eating it. He would be breaking his own law. Okay?
Yeah.
So he would not interfere. But he said this. I didn't say this the last time. He said this. And when I was speaking about the ascension, he wasn't going to give me when, where, or how, but he said, you can, it's so close, he said, you can actually touch it. You can actually sense it. He said, you may even be able to taste it. It's that close.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't give you the second part of that the last time. I'm a sneaky old dick like that.
But the funny thing is, William, because I've known you for some time, I kind of knew that anyway. Not that particular part, but the fact that you'd hold something back. Because you've always done that to me, haven't you? You crafty old sausage.
Yeah, you know I'm always up to something.
Oh, yeah.
I've told you that from the word go. I said, damn it, I'm always up to something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And but you know, when you earlier on when you mentioned about being you do this mantra thing in the mornings and you actually feel you're a star or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When I did a regression, I actually had my eyes closed, obviously, and I could picture in my mind's eye, I was out in the universe, and I could see all the stars, the cosmos, and everything. And I actually asked the question, what am I doing here? Why am I here? And the answer came back that I was a commander on a ship out in the universe, but I wasn't with my star family as such, because my soul originates from Arcturus. But I was schooled in the Pleiades and the Andromeda galaxy, and I was a commander on the Andromedan ship. And the reason I was the commander was the fact that I think it was more to do with Arcturian presence out in the universe. And again, you touched on your being here in. So I was in the now here.
Can you repeat that? You froze just as you were about to say that.
Okay. I don't know where it froze, but I'll say it again. I was out in the universe, and I was an Andromedan commander.
Yeah, you said all that. Yeah.
And the reason I was there was because of my Arcturian influence. Because they're not warlike, they're peaceful people, and just them being there repels the negativity coming towards different star systems. Now, I know this has gone a little bit off of what you were talking about, but I can relate, as I was doing this regression, of feeling like I was a like there was no manifestation of my physical being, but it was more a higher consciousness, uh, I guess, star. Um, I don't know what it was, but it was just a consciousness. But I was on this ship and I was just there peacefully to repel any negativity coming towards Earth. So is that in some way related to what's going on in the background? Different people from different star systems are also coming here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that the Earth, this planet right now is got everybody's attention. The whole
Yeah.
universe is now focused on this. What are we up to? How are we going to manage this? Remember, going back to the law of one, what they say is those of the positive nature only need, or I say only, need to attain 50+% to ascend.
Yeah.
50 plus 0, 1, 50 plus 2, 50, whatever it is. As long as you just get over the 50 line, then you'll ascend. The negative side needs to ascend because they want to ascend as well, don't forget. But they need to obtain 95% negativity. Now,
Yeah.
focus on that word, 95%. They want, the 95%. In the law of one, the question was asked, why do they make it so difficult at the 95%? Why is that so difficult? And the
Yeah.
response was quite surprising. Well, not that surprising to me, but I hadn't noticed it before until I looked at it again. He says,
Okay. Yeah.
but it is not, it's no harder than trying to obtain the 50+%. There is no difference in the difficulty. So it's as difficult to get the 50+% as it is to get the 95%. That's their words. And back in February, I said exactly the same thing. It's not going to be as easy as people think to obtain the 50+%. And so when I saw this episode only a few days ago, it reinforced what I said back in February, that it's going to be bloody difficult for people to get the 50+%. They need to bloody well wake up. It's not going to be easy. Oh, I'm awake and I'm bloody blah, blah. Look what I have. I can do this and I have that toy here and this gadget here. Forget it. Concentrate. Focus on yourself. Don't be fooling around with all the gadgets and all the toys. Focus. It's not going to be that bloody well easy. As a matter of fact, they said that the greater part of the population will not ascend. That's their word. The greater part of the greater majority, the great majority of the people will not ascend. Focus on that.
Okay. On that note, I won't go into the 3%, the 10%, and the 30% that we talked about previously. But one of the elders did mention to Stephen how difficult it would be to get the higher numbers.
Okay.
And the reason being, and if you want to check this out, go to forgottenorigins.com, Stephen and Evan Strong. And in the video section, you will see, well, they've had many, many interviews. But Stephen does talk about where the elders have told him that we think, oh, yeah, I'm awake. I'm a good person. I do all the right things. You know, I meditate. I'm very, very nice. I don't think bad of anyone, blah, blah, blah. But here's the clincher, right? Can you honestly say, as a human being, that you've never, and I mean never, had a bad thought in your mind intentionally? And the answer is no. You can't honestly say that you haven't had one bad, evil thought at some point in your life, because we're human. We have these emotions for a reason. We have to learn how to grow up and start being who we are, who we really are. And it's the intention, not the thought, not the deed. It's the intention,
Mm-hmm. Hang on.
right? So this is where you really need to, well, people need to grow up. Is that if you find yourself thinking to yourself, well, 99.9% of the time I'm Mr. Perfect, great. But what about that 0.01% when you're not, and you have this thought? You do that again, mate, and I'll have you, right? Straight away, just having that thought and thinking it is just as bad as actually doing it. And once people realize that it's the thought, they will get it straight away,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because that's how we manifest. So, yes, it is very, very, very difficult. So, what I've tried to do personally is the minute I even think about saying or doing anything or even thinking anything, is just, if it happens, I say, Dermot, stop it right
Mm-hmm.
now. That was not the right thing to do. You know it's the wrong thing to do. Stop it right there and now. Now, if you consciously correct yourself, then you are rebalancing and
Yes. Mm-hmm.
recalibrating
Mm-hmm.
the spirit. So please, people, do that and be conscious of it. Yeah.
Isn't this amazing that, if I may hop back to hop on the Georgia Guidestones, and they say they want to reduce the population by 95%.
Ah, yes.
There's another strange coincidence.
Yeah,
They
isn't it?
know they're using the,
Opposite.
they're using population, and by sacrificing 95%, they're fulfilling their obligation of attaining 95%. Zero to 95% is suddenly popping up.
Yeah,
They're using the population as their stepping stone.
yeah,
Okay, they're mistaken, but that's beside the point. They believe it, that if they obliterate 95%, they're ascending. Remember, they want to ascend as well. They're very much aware of it, and they don't want to be left there. They want to get out as well, and they want to use the population
yeah.
of the world as their stepping stone.
And how easy is it for them when we've got this sheep mentality that follows the rules,
Yes,
believes
yes,
everything, gullible enough to believe everything without doing the research?
yeah. They know all about the 95%, and they're
Absolutely.
using that 95% as their stepping stone. And unless the stars start waking up and start manifesting correctly and thinking correctly
And recalibrating.
and recalibrating, you know, you're helping the other side. They want to ascend just as much as you do, probably more, but they need this
Correct.
95%.
Awakened being.
Yes. Oh, your internet is unstable again. Whatever
Yeah,
the internet, whatever it is this morning, like it's gone crazy. And I never have internet problems. But anyway, wake up. They're using that
carry
same
on.
95% negativity off of your back to get up. And by sacrificing the people here, job done as far as they're concerned. Why do you think we've got all this disease
Yeah,
going on? Huh? Why do you think all
yeah,
this is coming? Diverting.
absolutely.
It's all there. I mean, the awareness of people is very, very low. Good example, a very good example. It's beautiful. There's a 3 weeks back, 4 weeks back, the soccer people suddenly announced, oh, we're going to make a Super League where only the top teams can participate. You remember that? And
Yeah.
what was the reaction of people?
Oh, I do, yes.
Oh my God, we can't have this, we can't have that. Can't. That's not allowed. We won't have that. The government's got involved over this bloody soccer game.
Yeah.
Over a game. If they
Yeah.
put the same amount of energy that they put into that, into what, and focus on what they should be doing, use the same amount of focus. Ooh, what a difference. What a difference.
What a difference in the world. Exactly.
What a difference would make. Oh, a bloody game, a football game, and we have this outburst around the world. Oh, a soccer game. Oh, what do we do? We can't allow that. We're not going to allow that. It was on every newspaper. Governments were chatting. We're not going to allow it. Look where all the focus went all of a sudden. This is the limit of the awareness that's on the planet. A bloody football game. A football game.
And believe me, I was just as passionate as anyone, because I love my football. But like I've also said, it's quite all right to be passionate about your football. Not an issue whatsoever. But you can be just as passionate about humanity as well. I mean, throughout my life, I've often wondered why the filthy rich have never ever stepped in and helped world poverty.
They're not supposed to.
Couldn't. It just never dawned on me as a young person growing up. Why wouldn't they do that? To me, it was the most normal, natural thing to do, to help people. But the thing is, my mission, I mean, your mission's obviously different to mine, but my mission was to come here and live and work in the working classes and feel the downtrodden energy that these people have to put up with, and the passion from the football. But luckily, I was able to break free and actually learn by observing and talking to people. And obviously, I've communicated that through videos and books and whatever. But generally, I do it verbally wherever I am. So, I just thought I'd bring that up because, like you say, the passion is there in humanity to change all this. They just have to switch direction.
And before I kept going over my. I need to remember this. I need to remember this. How many of this the so-called awakened, right? I want to get here. I want to ascend. I want to ascend. When can I ascend? Am I going to ascend?
Yeah.
Listen, folks. Why did you come here in the first place? You volunteered to come here.
Yeah.
So where were you before you came here? Were you already ascended?
Aha! Good point.
Huh? I know you want to bugger off. You came here to do work. You came here to do stuff. So bloody well do it. Don't be wanting to get out of here. You're here, you volunteered, you're supposed to be helped, and you're not helping. The vast majority of the people are not helping. They're so focused on themselves, they forgot the job they signed up for.
Correct.
Okay?
Yes.
Stop wanting to get to it and say, well, am I going to ascend? You were probably already ascended before you came here. So why would you want to come here if you already were before that you now want to go back to? I want to ascend, I want to ascend. For feck's sake, you volunteer to come here to help.
Have you actually seen that picture? There's a baby in a doctor's arms and it's got this look on its face.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Like that.
What am I doing back here?
Yeah. It's like I volunteered to come back to Earth, but why now?
Yeah. So stop wanting to get out here. Stop wanting to. Okay, want to ascend. That's a good thing. But you
Yeah.
came here to do a fucking job. So bloody well do it.
Correct.
There's too many star seeds, stars, whatever you want to call it. I have now referred to you as stars, gone back to bed, gone snoring your fucking head off. Cut it out.
Yes.
Wake up. Stop indulging in all these fantasies that you have. Oh, I have this and I have got this contraption and I've got this little rattle here and I can do this and I. Cut it out. Focus on
Cut it
yourself.
out. Yeah.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Do you know all the information people need is in here and in here.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be leading people on.
Yeah.
Don't be influencing people to suit your ego. Focus on yourself. Don't be following anybody. Follow yourself. Follow your heart. Don't become followers. I said this back in February. We don't want followers. Yeshua, Jesus, who is my brother, we don't want followers. We want people to get up off their fucking knees and stand side by side, shoulder to shoulder. Get up off your knees. Become who you are. Become the same as him. Become the same as I. Do it.
Regardless of what's going on in the world right now, you can switch off. It's easy. You just have to change channels.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean literally on the TV. I mean switch channels in here. There's an on-off switch. Learn to use it. Do you think that's a kick up the backside for a few people? Because it's been a long time coming. Because there's a lot of people out there that are focusing on different subjects and the 3D stuff, but there's no one actually out there talking about, or is there, about the law of one and the spirituality of why we're here and what we should really be doing.
I've just told you why you're here. You wouldn't be listening to this otherwise.
There you go.
The fact that you're
And
listening to this, by the way, as I'm on it, know that to those who are listening to this and watching this, what are you going to do now? Are you going to just say this is a load of nonsense, this is not for me? That's your will, fine.
Free will, yeah.
That's your own free will. Or
correct.
Are you going to say, oh, I've got to get my act together and I need to really focus, get to focus here. So will you take it on board? Well, what are you going to do about it then when you take it on board? Are you going to keep it yourself? What are you going to do with the information that's now there, which I've given you?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that? The one thing you cannot do is you cannot at the end say, well, I didn't know, nobody told me. You're being told
Correct.
now. I'm telling you now, straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. I'm telling you now, wake up. It's not going to be that easy. You came here to do a job. Give over all the tomfoolery that's going on. Focus. Don't be leading people astray. Those who are supposed to be awake, cup yourself on. Get over the ego. The ego is absolutely rampant right now.
Yeah.
Focus, people, focus. Focus on the heart.
Okay, well, I've certainly felt the passion from you, whoever I'm speaking to, but I'm going to talk to you as if you are William right now, and just say, what would you say to the people that would watch this and say, well, aren't you interfering with with our free will by telling us all this and actually saying do it?
Well, you still have the choice either to do it or not to do it. You still have the option. You still have the free will to accept it or reject it. This is why I'm in this form, not in my angelic form, if you want.
Yeah.
You can have the choice to accept it or reject it.
Yeah.
But this is not a channel message. This is not a channeling. Well,
I mean, it's pretty obvious it's not a channeling because I I mean, I've spoken to you like hundreds of times in the last 7 years,
Mm.
and it's no different physically in the third dimensional form. So, and like I said earlier, normally when people channel, they close their eyes and they speak in a totally different language, and they even sound different. No, this is William, as I know William, and as we all know William. But like William has said, the higher consciousness of William, who basically, I suppose it's a reincarnation um, over many lifetimes. Is that correct? No? Have I got
No,
that wrong?
I haven't been on this planet too often. I've only come in here at certain critical times for the planet. When I was telling you about all the rest of the stuff, I was speaking as I am, not William. William was not speaking.
Yeah,
I was giving it to you straight, not channeled. I was giving it straight, the information. Look,
yeah,
I'm known throughout history. I'm spoken about in the different books, so-called holy books. I'm the only one that's mentioned in these books. And I was always
yeah,
called a messenger. And I gave you the messages now. So what is a
yeah,
messenger? A messenger was long ago was, if a king wanted to tell another king something, he would send a messenger
yeah,
as his representative. That representative or messenger has taken the place of the king.
yes,
And that messenger cannot be interfered with. Okay, so the messenger, who is like an ambassador or representative of the king.
mm,
I'm here as a messenger. I am here as the representative of the Father. So now I'm giving you these messages, focus on it. You've been crying out long enough for help. Oh, we need help. Well, is he going to send any help? He has constantly told you, I will always send you messengers. But you got so focused on the messengers, like 2,000 years ago, you focused on the messenger. But they got you to focus on the messenger, not the message. So I'm giving you
correct.
this straight. Don't focus on me, focus on what I'm after telling you. I've come in this shape, in this form to tell you this. This is my mission here. My mission is over once this goes out.
Yeah. Which brings me to another question.
Uh-oh.
Where is William then?
He is what you term already ascended.
Okay. Does that mean he's on the new Earth? And you know,
No,
in Dolores.
no.
Okay, so you know when Dolores Cannon talks about the two Earths,
Uh-huh.
one stays as 3D and one ascends to 5D. Is that
Via
anything to
4D,
do
via 4D.
via 4D? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is that anything to do with what we're going through now?
This is what I spoke about earlier on. The Earth,
Yeah.
it wants to shift to 4D.
Right.
The humanity, the population on the planet is making things extremely difficult.
Yeah.
With
It
all
would
this
be. Yeah.
thinking, with all this fooling around that's going on, what will I do? I'll listen to this person, or I'll do that. Oh, he's recommended this book or that book. I'll go and I'll get that. Or I'll recommend this toy or that toy. And oh, you can buy this and buy that. For feck's sake, cut
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
Look, we are coming to the end of days. Get that
And
through your noggins.
we can count the grains of sand. Yeah.
Yes, get that through your noggin. Stop fooling around. I don't want to waste my time coming in here. I didn't come in here to obey the law, by the way. I come here to break it. Right?
Beautiful.
You know, I don't follow anybody's laws. There's only one law I follow. I break everything else.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bloody well succeed. I didn't come here to fail. Nobody wins, you
Wow.
know.
So there you go, folks. You've heard it from the horse's mouth.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. And I'm
Yay.
not doing this from ego. I
Yeah.
didn't wake up one day and say, you know what will I do? I like to become famous. Yeah, what'll I do? I don't want to do. I say I'm an angel. I become an angel. And not just any angel. I picked this. I picked this name. You know the name I'm
Yeah,
talking about, yeah. So,
yeah. I do. I do.
well, if you
Let
want to
them
say
do
it,
their research.
yeah, let me do the research. But where was I? Yeah, I mean, come on, folks. I'm over 70 years of age. What do I want
Yeah.
to do with being famous? But I choose to come in at this age because this age, there's nothing to be gained materialistically, financially, or otherwise by doing this. Now, way beyond it. I'm not a young guy looking for fame or fortune or whatever. William has already turned that down. So I have nothing to gain.
Ah. Now you just mentioned Williams already turned that down. So if people want to get the background to all of that, they need to listen to video 1 and 2, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they'll say, what did William turn down? Well, do your research, folks, and
Mm.
listen to videos 1 and 2. And it's all there. We're not going to repeat anything. We're just going to give it as it is. And yes, I mean, I might have been joking when I said I'm an intergalactic reporter, blah, 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 blah. But to be honest, folks, this is real. This is real. And we need to get a move on, because if we can count the grains of sand in the hourglass, we ain't got much time.
No. Let me say something else as I'm in here, right? You keep talking about this deep state. Well, I like to add to that. The deep state of evil is what I like to call it, or the deep state of darkness, whichever.
Yeah.
And you're talking about Satan and all that. I will place Satan's head under my heel. That is what's going to happen. And he knows what's going to happen now.
Yeah.
That's where he's going.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Maybe we can play football with his head.
He knows what I mean. He knows what's going
Yeah.
to happen. He
Yeah.
knows as if it's not already after happening. But it's going to happen. And he knows it. And I'm going to be there for it.
Good.
Yeah.
Now it was okay. So we've kind of progressed this discussion quite naturally, without having to have a running sheet or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
was there anything else that you'd held back that you'd wanted to get across as a message, or was this it,
This is
so to
it.
speak?
This
This
is
is
it.
it.
This was the
Okay.
message. I mean, how
So
many
this
more
is
profound do you want?
yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I'm just saying that for the viewers because you just don't know.
Mm.
They may have questions,
Yeah.
and if they do, um, are we going to be contactable? But
Look,
having said that, we don't really want to become, the next flavour of the month, because really, when all said and done, this really needs to be the end of the actual message as such. Is that correct?
yeah, that is the message in a package. This is what I've been trying to get out.
Yeah.
And for one reason or another, things were kept put off until now.
Yes.
Watch what they are trying to do with the population, just 95%. It's on the Georgia Guidestones, I believe. I haven't seen it, but they want to, to reduce the population down to 500 million or something like that. That's up there in the stone. They're 95%, and they want to reduce the population by 95%. Is that a coincidence? Look at this disease. They're using this disease to to turn your minds around, to get you folks all put you into fear. They want you into fear, not into fear,
I'll
but into fear, and that's where most of the population is right now. Oh, will I
Yeah.
get this in? Will I get the vaccine or well, whatever? Oh, I better get it because if I don't, oh, I could get this thing. That's the other one I wanted. I'll give you this message, right?
Yeah.
This pandemic thingy is a 3D creation.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what you need to do, what needs to be done is lift your vibrations up. Just lift them up.
And it cuts out
okay.
together.
Cut it out. Here's another thing, right? We talk about dimensions, or what the law of one calls densities, or octaves. Those in the music will know what an octave is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we are now in third, going into fourth. But in the third density, there are, they call these densities octaves, and between each octave, there are sub-octaves, or notes, like the scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Back into do again.
Do.
Yeah. These are different levels within each density. So we just don't go fourth to fifth, or second into third, or fifth into sixth. There are different levels within each density, and they go through these sub-octaves. So, and they're like the chakras, which they refer to as rays, the different rays. There's 7 of these, by the way. Well, you have a lot more than 7, but we focus on the 7. So, crikey, where was I?
You were talking about the note, the octaves, different levels.
Yes, there are different levels within each density, and there are multiple levels of these sub-octaves. So you can say, oh, he gone into fifth, or he gone into fourth. Where in fourth has he gone? It's not what fourth and that's it. And now you're going into fifth. No, there are different densities, different sub-levels.
And just because you get
there are more of these sub-levels again.
And just because you attain one level doesn't mean you're going to stay there. It's fluctuating up and down, like the Schumann resonance.
I know once you attain a level, unless you consciously choose to come down, it's very difficult. But if you go into, say, the do, you're in do, which is what you know in the note scale, do, re, mi, fa. So you're in do, what you call the fourth do. Now you can go into do, re, then you go to do, mi, you go fa, and you go so. So how do you choose where you're going to go? Okay.
Well, I suppose, okay, the reason I'm interfering here is because I'm an interfering old bastard.
Who said that? Look, I didn't say that, you interfering old bastard.
No. I wasn't reading your mind, no. But like the music can go up and down, and consciousness can go up and down too. It's in waves. So yes, I agree. When you attain that level, unless you choose to come down, you will stay there. But I guess what I'm trying to get to is that humanity is choosing to get or to attain this, but when they do, they only attain it for a short period and they come down back to the lower levels again. So unless everybody works together like a rising tide lifting all ships, we're not going to attain and stay there permanently.
Staying there is the thing, but we cannot do it without the earth. The earth, once the earth shifts, and as the law of one says, it will be moved with difficulty, but it will be moved into the 4D. Now, once that happens, no more life on 3D. 3D life cannot stay on Earth.
Yes.
That being
so where do they go?
Actually, Shakespeare, sly old git, had he had, what was it? All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players, and each one would play its part. The act being 7 ages, 7 notes of the scale. So what did he know?
He knew quite a bit.
He was telling you the 7 ages. There's this number 7 again. The 7 ages, and then when the lights go down and the stage is clear, this is what's going to happen. The lights, when the earth shifts, the lights will go down here. The stage will be swept clean.
Now, this brings me to another question
Of course it
because,
does.
of course it does.
Jeez.
Do- Oh, I'm going to push you all away,
How long
sir.
have we been chatting? Whoa.
I've got no idea, but it's about the message, so we'll just keep going because while we're on a good thing, we'll keep it going, yeah?
Hmm.
Okay. Now,
Where's me to know?
where I was going to go with this, before we finish up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, have a drink because you've been doing a lot of talking. Um, Now, I'm like you, I tend to forget where I was going.
Oh, not the two of us,
Oh,
surely.
yeah. That's right. Okay, so having said all that, does this have anything to do with what people are talking about the solar flash? Making life extinct on this planet as
Mm-hmm.
3D.
Mm-hmm.
Then, does that mean that the third dimensional people will have to move to another planet? And the fourth D and the fifth D also have to move on
Yes.
to the fourth and fifth
Yes, a good question.
dimensional
It's
planet.
a very good question. How that's managed. Nobody picks it for you where you end up.
Oh,
You
no.
pick that yourself. So how is this
Right.
done? How is this achieved?
Yes.
And what they describe is it's like a big bright white light, okay? And it's very powerful. So you're attracted to this light. And how
Yeah.
far towards this light you travel before you have to stop, because it then becomes too bright and you stop. Where you
Yes.
stop is where you'll wind up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that could
And
be,
the elders have said that too. Yeah.
there you go. So where in the octave have you stopped? Which density have you stopped?
Do,
It's up
Ray,
to
or
you.
me.
Are you? So where have you stopped? Again, it's up to you. There's not somebody pulling you by the scruff of the neck. Come up here, you. You
No,
make the choice. Where have
it's
you
all
stopped?
it's
Where
all
have you
free
stopped?
will.
Yeah, where have you stopped now? Where you stop is where you wind up. Obviously,
Yeah.
enough, I suppose. Yeah, but it's not anybody choosing it. You're choosing it. When the flash will happen. There's no doubt about that. There's no
Yeah.
more life on this planet. It's all gone. Those that have not ascended will stay in 3D and repeat the cycle. We're going
Yeah.
through a cycle. There is what is called the precession of the equinoxes. Okay.
Yeah.
And each circle of these, well, we've just moved into Aquarius from Pisces. So to do the full circle takes 25,000 years. Now there are three such cycles.
Oh, well done.
One, two, three. There are
You were
three
trying.
such cycles of
You were trying to
25,000
be
years.
naughty, weren't you? I know.
I wouldn't do that to you. No way.
Oh dear.
Anyway, there are three
Sorry to
such
interrupt.
cycles.
Yeah.
You're not. So at the end of
3 cycles.
not three bicycles, 3 cycles, three axe handles, 2 axe handles. What is it? Two no small ruddy. 2 fork handles.
Yeah. That's a great sketch, that was.
That's the best one they had. But anyway,
Uh,
we are at the end of the 3rd cycle. This is called
correct.
the grand cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, we are now at the end of that. 75,000 years is now completed. If you do not ascend this time, you will go back on the ascension cycle.
Which is what we did last time.
No, so what are you going to choose? Do you want to stay here and repeat third density, which the great majority of the people are going to go?
Yes.
Right? Again, let me stress that. If you think you're going to say, oh, I'm awake, forget it. Focus. You
We'll
came
see
here to
how
do a
awake
job.
they are.
Yeah, yeah. You came here to do a job. Stop wanting to get out of here as fast as your two little legs can carry you. You've got to do your job, do your work. There's too many people, stars, who are not stars, who got to fucking sleep, who come so
Yeah.
engrossed in what's around them that they've forgotten the connection, the
So
soul
that,
connection.
so this has happened in the past,
Yes,
hasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. And it's been known that when it did happen and the planet was going to be extinct, people were taken off planet. Now, there are people that are still stuck in the 3D mentality thinking, well, how am I going to get out there? How am I going to get out off planet when we use rocket technology to get
That's not
out
going
there?
to happen. It won't happen like that.
I know it won't. I know that, and you know that. But the thing is, the people that are stuck in that 3D mentality are going to think that. We've got to get them to understand that the free will and their own consciousness will take them where they are meant to be. And their soul does not die. Their soul keeps living and goes through this process.
Your soul cannot die. Your spirit cannot die, will never die. You are an infinite being.
Yes.
You're totally infinite.
Which is what we haven't been told throughout history.
You know, your imagining, your image making, your imagination is the greatest tool that you have. Humans,
Yeah.
wake up, use it. They don't
Use
want
it.
you to wake up. They want to use you, come off of your back so they can ascend. And
Yeah.
they are using every means at their disposal now because they know it's their time as well. They're just as aware as everybody else that this is the end times here. And they want to get out of here, but they want to use you as their
To
means of
do it.
escape.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to let them use you? Or are you going to tell them to fuck off? Fuck off.
Aye.
So, you know, that's it. Gabriel is entitled to a D odd fucking two every now and again as well, I suppose. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Forget it.
I nearly got you.
You know, so
I'm a
that is my
crafty one.
message. That's my message. It's take it, accept it, or just leave it.
Or just
You
leave it. Yeah.
You cannot deny you've been told. You just cannot walk away and say, oh, I haven't been told. Oh, no, we weren't told. Folks, I'm telling you. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. Don't
Now,
let this corpus fool you for 1 second. I didn't
yeah.
come here with feathers sticking out of my mouth or out my whatever to prove anything. If I came like that, I would be disobeying the law of one.
Yeah.
I'm coming up like this so you can choose it, to give you the choice of accepting or rejecting. Up to you. Choice is still yours. Amen.
Beautifully said.
You think
Well
so?
said.
Oh, later on
Oh. Oh. So, okay. To wrap this up, I think we we did mention how we would like to touch on certain elements that we've talked about before, going into ego, going into the law of one, going into spirituality, and so forth. Now that we've got the bulk of the information in video 1 and 2 and the final message as a package of 3, are we going to step forward and maybe touch on the other subjects, or
Yes,
are we just...
I will always come back and touch. I know I've glanced over a lot of stuff, but
Yes.
if people want, I will come back and clear up anything that they want cleared up.
Right.
So I just
Okay.
want to get the message out there because it needs to be got out. Whether you accept it or not, it's not up to me. That's up to people watching.
So could I make an impassioned plea? If you're watching this video, can you subscribe to our channel and please put comments as to now. We haven't actually discussed this, so where do you want me to take this, William?
Don't
Because
tempt me. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
no, I'm thinking if they want to listen to each video separately, I'm not asking people if they've got problems to contact us because we're not gonna touch that. We just want to talk about what we've talked about in the message. Is that right?
Yep. Yep. If they have specific questions that they want to ask, the email I presume will be going out.
Yeah, we can put the email
Yeah,
if you like.
yeah. And we'll answer them that way.
Right,
I will go back, but this is the bulk of this is my mission. My mission is now complete.
right. So we're not going to do the video and answer them. We're going to answer them by video, by email. Sorry.
No, if they want to ask a question, they can put it on the chat, on the comments. I presume
comment.
I presume we'd be able to put comments out, are we?
Yes,
But
yes, they can.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. If they want to put questions, and I will answer. We'll answer the questions in other videos.
The next video.
Or videos, but that is the main bulk of my message. What
Yeah.
happens after
Okay.
this is not up to me.
Yeah.
I've given you the message. I am the ambassador. I am the messenger, and have been the messenger for thousands of years.
Yeah.
But because I haven't shown up, as I said, feathers all akimbo, you will say, oh, that's only that guy there, that's the only guy there. No.
Yeah. Okay. So in wrapping up, put your comments. But if there's, and I will stress this, if you've got something that's very personal to you, then keep it private and contact us via email. But if you've got a general question about what we're talking about, then definitely put it in the comments. And depending on how many comments or questions we get, depends on whether we do another video or videos. So, but we would like to talk a little bit more in depth on each individual subject. But rather than us direct it, we're going to let the viewer direct it. Is that true, William? Yeah, because that's free will. Because that's free will, isn't it? Let them dictate where we go.
Yeah. I know there'll probably be other people telling us where to go, but that's entirely up to them.
Well, you know, that's happened.
They cannot say, but they can't say they weren't told.
True. And believe me, many people have told us where to go.
And I told you where to go lots of times. Yeah.
Oh dear.
It took us a long time to get here.
It has. It has. And believe me, look, we've had internet drop out a little bit or an audio or whatever, but we've managed to get through it. So I don't know how long this has gone for, but believe me, this was a pleasure once again to bring this to you, the public. And it doesn't matter if you're watching it, you know, today, tomorrow, next week, next month, even next year. Well, you probably won't have time to watch it next year because we're getting too damn close. But at the end of the day, get this out there because it's very important. And I think if you actually listen to video 1 and 2 and put it together with the message the final message, I think you'll understand that it's now time for action.
This is the greatest message that's ever been delivered to the earth.
So there you go.
Just listen to it.
And let it resonate. Well, on that note, William, I think we'll just leave the public for now and So it's goodbye from me, and
it's goodbye from you.
oh, you're a case, a suitcase.
Oh, right, okay.
Ah,
So
all
thanks,
right,
Dermot.
see,
It's been a pleasure. It's been
always a pleasure. Always.
yeah, I hope. So hopefully this goes okay and that you don't muck up the presentation at the end. That's your problem.
You've done your bit. Now I've
I've
got to do
done my
my
bit
bit.
for
Yeah.
humanity. Yeah. Again.
Don't worry. I'll get it done. Don't worry. It'll
All
all be
right then.
good.
So thank you for listening. Take the message seriously and make the right decision. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.